You got going there, super producer?
It's so hard with social media that you got to pick what you got in the list. You know what I mean?
I'm waiting for the Mao Chicka Mao Mao.
Oh, like a little Ron Jeremy theme music almost.
Exactly.
Oh
exactly.
boy.
You never know what Bishop's going to throw in there. Hey, Watercraft Network Wednesday, man. We're back. We're live.
What's happening?
We are.
A lot,
we
of,
are.
a lot of stuff happening.
Oh
this week.
man, a lot's happening.
Since the last time we were on air.
Yeah, big. It's been a eventful 7 days.
Had what, Daytona?
Daytona, yeah, that was amazing. Kudos to those guys. Hats off to everybody that went down there, all the contributing sponsors. Torrent Pumps, they're going to make that donation of over $5,000 to Roswell Park Cancer Research Institute, which is just absolutely amazing. Hats off to those guys, and thank you. We got to thank Torrent. We actually, during the throes of the Daytona free ride, we're on the phone with Brian from Torrent Pumps and AJ Handler from Pro Watercross and Ron from Mid VA. Those guys all came together and they were able to procure a Polaris Hurricane. That they got
another one.
They got the boys here who are going to do the conversion, and a lot of people excited. The cane, as Brian and I were talking from Torrent, and the cane is like the unicorn.
Is this going to be the next Super Chicken? Is this where this is going?
I don't think canes are as like. I mean, I'm not a chicken fan, as you well know. I mean, those things aren't even personal watercraft. They're boats. They don't even count. They're just like, as Ryan from, Brave the Wave has said very, very well. They're just an entertainment factor during his event.
But that's not where I'm going with this. You're trying to
the popularity of the cane.
Start a movement with the cane.
Well, I think honestly, most purist, hardcore enthusiasts, blaster riders, X2s, old 550 riders, even the riders that ride super jets and the modern machines now, they're very curious as to the cane. A lot of people back in the day didn't get the opportunity to ride a cane. Polaris didn't make a ton of them because, the ones they made didn't run, so to see one on the water and actually get to ride one, most people, that's their first question when you say Polaris Hurricane. They're like, hey, what's that ride like? They're very intrigued by.
All right. Well, if you're going to start bringing back the cane.
We're bringing sexy back with the cane, right, Mel?
I'm going to start.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to start a new movement.
Yeah.
It's going to be one of those wet jet laser jets. The little butterfly steering wheel.
Those things.
Okay.
You ever
If
ridden
that's-
one of
if
those?
that- no, but
Oh,
if
man.
if this is what we're gonna do,
Oh, dude, those things are a jewel slapper. Let me
Okay.
tell you, those things are not fun to ride.
I'm gonna find one of those bad boys, and either try to find a way to jam a 1100 triple into it, or at least the 760 Yamaha into
That'd
it.
be pretty cool. Be pretty cool.
Okay.
And and that's what Torrance tapped us for. Just so to make everyone aware, they were able to procure the Polaris Hurricane down there in Florida. Already got it back up here to New York, and we're going to put a 760 in it. We've already done basically,
The hard work.
yeah, made the recipe.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the bed plate conversion, and I mean, once we get finished routing our exhaust, ours really the template cane will be done, and we'll just be able to.
Yeah, we got the hard part done.
Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of collaboration with this build, although it will be taking place here in the Brap Cave, again where we've done this before with a Yamaha conversion and a Polaris Hurricane. It's going to be a whole lot of collaboration. As of right now, we have the donor hull. We don't have a motor. We don't have an exhaust system. We don't have a bunch of the components that we'll need in order to get that conversion done. So there's obviously going to be a lot of players involved.
I know one thing it's gonna have.
What's that?
The torrent pump.
Oh, that's what I was joking. I was joking with Brian. I said the one component in the whole equation that we don't have to worry about is the pump. We know the pump's covered, and we know the hull is covered. Other than that, we have nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody
so we
who
got a year.
Yeah, exactly. But anybody who wants to get involved, if you'd like, watercraft related business, or your group, as a matter of fact, would like to get involved, we're going to work with Torrent and a couple other entities to generate some parts donations. We need a 760. We need a complete
We need
760.
We need a 760 red pipe.
Hey,
or a blaster red pipe will work too.
Yeah.
Any.
Look, when we're doing the build and somebody gives up some stuff for the build, you're going on the flyer.
Oh, and you'll get you'll get whatever
logo's
if your
going.
group will be on the boat. There's plenty of real estate on a cane to get your decal on there. So this is Daytona 2022. Anybody who wants to jump on board and help out, we'd love some support from Riva. We know our friends at WSM will jump right in.
Oh, yeah.
And donate a crank and a top end for that
I'm
760.
sure there'll be some liquid moly oil going.
Liquid Molly
along for the ride.
WSM will jump right on board. Watercraft Superstore, but anybody who'd like to help out, we'll take all the help we can get, and really appreciate any degree of support, because that's going to be a lot of components that we really need to get donated in order to pull that build off. But like you said, we got a year to talk about that, so that's in the pipeline. Also have to give a shout out, nice to see Skylar Mack home.
Yes.
Nice to see Jennifer and Dennis Mack, kind of get to breathe easy now. And I noticed she was on Good Morning America, and she really was very apologetic and, recognizing that she made a mistake. And, she's a kid. She's a kid. I mean,
How many mistakes that all of us make when we were that age?
That's what I was going to say. Thank God.
Next comment.
All I was going to say is,
All right, well, hold on. You and me, we'll
Yeah.
leave him out of it.
Thank goodness we didn't live in such a media-dominated society when we were 18, 19 years old.
Yep.
Because the stuff that we did, in our youth.
We talk about it all the time. I mean, back in the day, even before my day, drinking and driving wasn't even, it was a big deal, but it wasn't like you got pulled over by a cop, you're going to jail right away.
No way.
Nah.
Even
You
in
sit in
our
the back of the car for a while.
Whoop your ass,
might
call
get-
your parents.
Yeah. Even in our era, growing up in the 80s, drinking and driving, that's when Mothers with Against Drunk Driving was just coming
Yep.
into to being a power player and or an entity. But
Yeah.
even back then, we would get caught with open containers as young kids, and the cops would just take our beer.
Dude, the same
dump
thing
it
was
and-
for me, but it was fresh breast milk.
That's about the right time too.
Yeah,
We're
there you go.
drinking beer
You
and
said
he's
the
freaking
80s.
slurping
That's what happened to
away.
me. Open container was only coming out of the living room. Breast milk.
So how we digress
Oh.
so rapidly, but you know, again, congratulations. You know, we're glad. We don't mean to make light of it. We're glad that that Skylar's home and that whole situation is behind them, and it's a learning experience. Like we learned from the situations and encounters we had as young kids. Makes you who you are. So
It does,
kudos to them.
definitely does.
You know, before we send PK live, we got to give another quick shout out. Got to give some love to the boys down there in the Carolinas. These guys are going, you know,
Full tilt.
both guns blazing. These guys. I mean, if you haven't made arrangements to plan on attending the Belly Buster in Lake Hartwell, Georgia this year, start making your plans now, because it's just you know, in a matter of 3 years, that event is rapidly becoming, you know, one of the
Must do's.
yeah, if not, you know, the you know, you hate to use the word like premier, or you know, all events are you know, have their own degree of just real uh, being unique and have a place in the marketplace or within the community. But man, that belly buster, I mean, they are just pulling out all the stops, multiple personal watercraft raffles, you know, just a ton of support in terms of sponsorship. You know, obviously
Our friend Sam from Fresh and Salty is going to donate a cart.
unbelievable. I mean, just
Oh, you should see their sponsor list.
It's getting insane.
Yeah.
It's getting insane.
it's just amazing. They do such a good job, and it's so well deserved. You know, if you can think of two people within the recreational community that really deserve that degree of support, it's Scott and Rodney in the Carolina Watercraft Club. They're just such quality people, you know, and just really, really deserving of the success and the degree of support that they've had. What's Rodney in there joking already?
Well, Rodley, no, they're already going at it, talking about Super Chicken. And
Oh
those
gosh!
two are out of control.
Listen.
I'm looking at our guest.
Hey, before we get any further, because we do have the All American Badass on tonight with us.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Did you sign that deal with Kid Rock so we can play the music?
No, not yet.
Damn.
Not yet.
I
I've been a
so
little
wanted
busy.
to open up
With American
with
Badass.
American Badass. I wanted to get that done.
Listen, before we send him live, we got to get, you know, kind of, you know, paint the picture here. You know, PK Ewing from Take Point Now. You know, Take Point Now, such just an amazing organization. You know, just started by PK, who's a former combat veteran, and or he still is a combat veteran, but a former active duty military guy, and just spent his entire career, and you know, has just some really amazing perspectives on life, and just such an amazing guy. And we were so fortunate to meet him a couple years ago at an event up in Western New York. And I say it all the time, you know, some of the best people in the world and the worst people in the world we've met through personal with the worst watercraft community. But PK is one of the best. I mean, he's one of those guys we could talk to for 7 hours. You could just sit here and talk to him about.
Well, you're taking up his time.
Yeah,
now.
I know. He keeps yakking away.
I know.
Then send him live. I just wanted to. I wanted to, you know, give him his due and give him, you know, the proper.
Well, you can do that while he's on the air.
Okay, all right, okay. I mean, we didn't rehearse.
I mean, if you want me to leave the room, you two can make out. I mean,
oh, I can hear him now. I can hear him now. PK, they're already busting my chops like some bromance. You know, I mean, it's just
I was
like
gonna say I could leave the room.
Unbelievable.
You gotta remember, this is a PG show.
I'm sorry.
I love you all, man. Hey, I'm not scared of the man love.
There we go. There we go. See, I knew PK would have my 6. You know, he's not going to leave me hanging out there, just getting my, you know, my rear end handed to me. So hey, thanks so much for joining us, PK. You know, pleasure to have you on. It's been so long since we've talked.
Hey, it's great to talk to you guys and catch up. Thank you for having me on. Thank you. I love talking to you guys and sort of chopping it up and just getting getting news on what the state of affairs is in the Watercraft network, in the Watercraft world.
Yeah.
I'm wearing some shades. I'm taking a cue from you, Kevin.
Oh, PK, honestly, we have Mel's photography lights here, and you may not be able to tell, but Jody and I mean, it feels like we have like just the sun is 5 feet from our. I mean, I without these bomber shades on, I cannot see. I have like white spots in front of my eyes for the next 4 hours. It's unbelievable.
And I can't sleep till about midnight after the show because it's just, you got, as soon as you close your eyes, that's all you see is the bright shining.
I hear you.
So how you been? How's lockdown been, and all the the just the BS going on within the world.
I don't know.
What?
Well, yeah, as it was for everyone, it was an extremely difficult year. You guys know I have 2 moms, and I take care of them both along with my wife Heather, and we have 4 dogs, and we both of my moms have health issues, and as you know, I have service related injuries and service related heart failure, and so this pandemic thing, has been a bear to manage. We lost 2 family members to it. I lost an aunt and an uncle. They weren't married. They were, different aunt and uncle, but it was difficult. It was difficult.
Yeah, and
So,
PK, Mel's over on in the off screen, and he's giving us a little sign.
in the penalty box?
What was that?
Is he in the penalty box?
No, he's just afraid to get back on camera. He shaved his beard, so he's got that baby face thing going back on.
No, I don't.
Oh, I probably wouldn't be able to pick him out of a lineup then.
But when you were talking about having a little bit of a heart issue, he was giving us the symbol over there. In the event any type of resuscitation, mouth to mouth, I think he's volunteered. He's ready to go.
That's all right.
Hey, hey, nothing wrong with a little man love. PK said it earlier.
Hey,
he's a legend.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that.
So what's the plans for this year, PK?
Well, first of all, I'm working on getting everybody in my family vaccinated. I see that as the first step before we can do anything. A lot of people don't. There's been an anti-vaccination movement for a while, and there's people who rightly, the government, like, you guys just crank this thing out in 8-9 months and it's safe, right? Like, I get that, but 2 things. One, people, I'm 50, and you guys are in my age bracket. We grew up without measles, without like smallpox and like all those things, things that killed people. So we grew up getting vaccinated. So it's like, all right. And then 2, I was in the Marine Corps for 21 years. There were times when I would just show up at the base, like expecting a normal day of work or whatever. And they were like, go to the BAS, which the battalion aid station. I'm like, what for? Like, we're getting vaccinated. I'm like, for what? Who cares? Just, you got to do it. Right. So I've been jabbed, poked, for anthrax, and I'm not going to sweat what is essentially a souped up flu vaccine, right?
Right.
I just, whatever it takes to keep my family safe. You should see some of the masks and like the mask tech that I've purchased. I've got this thing that makes me look, it's from Gentex. It's something that, we use in the military, and the face cup is from it's essentially the same setup that is used in a military aircraft. And it gives you a good seal, but I look like Darth Vader. And it's
so kind like Tom Cruise there in Top Gun when they have
Totally.
those. Yeah. And PK, honestly, I mean, I think That's smart. People like yourself, or both of your moms who are a little bit older, anyone over 50 with even a degree of a compromised immune system. I think it's wise to consider taking the vaccination. I mean, that's just my opinion. I know there's two
Well,
different sides on that.
anything that you take, it's got its limitations or strengths, or I mean, Tylenol. Too much Tylenol could kill your liver. I mean, there's
Yeah.
what do you do?
Yeah.
But you got a headache, you're going to take that Tylenol.
That's exactly right. Exactly
And
right.
I see it as just another layer of protection. It's not the end all, the be all. It's not the panacea. You can take the vaccine, and it'll help keep you from getting sick. And if you do it won't protect you 100%. People get the idea that when you have the vaccine, you won't get sick. No, you can still get sick, but it'll reduce the severity significantly because you've already kickstarted an immune response.
Right.
But people get they get a flu shot. Last year, my wife got a flu shot and caught the flu, and took her to the doctor because we were like, "Oh my God, is it COVID?" And they were like, "It's not COVID, but it's a flu." And I asked her, she took the flu shot, and she's like, "Don't misunderstand. You can still get sick. It's just this would have been a lot worse." And that makes sense, but it's just another layer of protection. You may or may not get sick if you take the vaccine. You probably won't, but you could still pass it on to somebody else because your body's got an immune response. It's if you get exposed to it, now your body's fighting it off, but you still have it.
Right.
And you may or may not feel good or bad. You may just feel a little under the weather for a day or for an afternoon, but you still could pass it on to somebody else. So you still got to wear your mask. You still got to do all that stuff. Hey, it's just, to me, like I said, in the Marine Corps, we learned I was an artillery guy, I was an infantry guy, and I was a civil affairs operator. And I learned how to do all those jobs completely in MOP 4, which is wearing the charcoal suit, the gas mask, the whole 9 yards. Learn how to operate a radio check. Learn how to operate a weapon system check. Learn how to, shoot, move, and communicate check.
Yep.
Drive a Humvee or a truck check. It's just
That's
another layer, right?
That's it.
Yeah,
So
it makes
I'm going to deal with it. I'm just going to get it, and I'll mask up, and except when I'm French kissing Melvin, because I just got to get the real deal.
now you got his tail wagging.
I can get right through
I
that.
tell you,
mask.
Melvin, I'm a raw dog.
Hey,
And the time we really need that camera to be facing on
exactly. When he's
and he
bright
doesn't
red,
turn it on.
when he's bright red, that camera is not
The
hooked up.
best part about being the tech guy is I don't need a camera on me.
And PK, you're right. I think a lot of people get confused about vaccines and the scare tactics, and everybody has an MD on social
Well,
media.
I think part of the problem is social media.
Yeah, totally.
Plain and
Because I
simple.
was just going to tell PK, what was it, 2 years ago? You and I both caught the flu, and I had the flu shot, and I was down for 2 days, PK. Just not bad symptoms, but Mel was down for like a week. I mean, bedridden.
Yeah,
I was in the VA hospital, and they wouldn't let me leave.
Yeah,
and they were pumping me with fluids and
Yeah.
telling me I need to take this. I
And-
couldn't even breathe.
And again, I had to take the flu shot because of my job, and you're exactly right. It minimized the severity of the virus. 2 days I had chills, I had a little bit of a fever, versus Mel's. He was admitted
In the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's another thing about the flu that my father taught me. My father was a physician, and I remember I was 26 or something. I'd come home, and he's like, what's wrong with you? And I said, I've got the flu. I'm not feeling that great. I've been sick for the last 2 days. I'm puking, I'm pooping. And he looked at me and he goes, "You don't have the flu." I said, "Yeah, I do. I think I know what the flu feels like." I remember he looked me in the eye and he said, "The flu kills young, healthy adults like you. Okay. So if you feel like you're going to die, maybe you have the flu. But if you feel sick, chilly, what have you, just really crappy," he goes, you have flu-like symptoms. You got a virus. You don't have the flu. And I was like,
Right.
"What?" And he goes, "The flu kills young, healthy adults.
Yeah.
Understand
It's-
that?" I was like,
it's no
"Oh,
joke.
okay. All
And
right."
it's really no joke. I
No.
mean, it's a dangerous virus. So
Mhm.
but it's nice that that hopefully you'll have that ability to get vaccinated. You know, my wife works for a school system. She's already received round one. You know, she's
Oh, that's
essential.
great.
Yeah, and she had to be, you know, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's get vaccinated or turn in your resignation. I mean, so, you know, like you said
Mhm.
earlier, with, you know, the rush to market and the, you know, the whole development of it, you know, I mean, it's a little concerning, but I would much rather that she, you know, she's now has her chances of getting that virus are minimized 50% because she got the first round of the vaccination. So,
Mhm.
um, I think it's good to be prepared, and that's a good plan. You know, once everyone's vaccinated, I think then you can maybe plan, you know, at least take a look at what's going on for 2021, and
And move from there.
maybe consider you know, attending some events or coming up and, you know, hitting the water with the New York boys and having a couple cocktails and just, you know,
Oh, that'd be great.
oh, sorry.
Parking lot pimping.
There totally forgot. Totally forgot. Totally forgot. Yeah, that was pretty
Absolutely.
cool.
There
So
is,
once all that's done, where's Take Point now moving to?
well, the events of this summer, they were they were of course tough for everybody, but Take Point now, I had sort of my own mission I had set aside um, in 2019 to work a little more closely with Pro Watercross, to work with you guys, and to get a little more embedded in the PWC world and PWC community. And we had some bumps,
Incidents.
right?
Setbacks.
We had some speed
We
bumps.
have some bumps in New Jersey, and
Potholes.
we the comment you made earlier about meeting the best of people and the worst of people. Well, you know, we all kind of got bit by that scorpion,
Yeah.
and that kind of set things back for me. And then with 2021, you know, the overriding thing about Take Point now was to serve. That's the thing that I have is I still have a strong sense of duty. And if you were to, you know, I was indoctrinated early, right? I joined when I was 17, and I didn't leave until I was 43. So um, I always wanted to serve. My health issues and injuries have prevented me from doing a lot of things. Um, and the issues we faced um, in 2019, you know, kind of got me thinking. And then with 2020, and with the finally the highlight on issues of racial justice, social
Yeah.
justice, human rights, all of the things that have been highlighted and have been the nation is split over, you know, got me thinking. And so I have some ideas for what I'm going to do with Take Point now, and I have to essentially rebuild it from the ground up. And I also made some bad, I don't want to say bad decisions, but I moved, I developed and cultivated a really high powered board of directors. And it, it has been difficult to kind of wrangle everybody into the same direction. So I need to start over, and I need to look at some way to serve in a positive way. The thing about the military is that it's not supposed to be politicized. And despite efforts from the right and the left to politicize the military for military expedient for political expediency or for a
Right.
soundbite, you know, I still that is still anathema to me. So I want Take Point now to not be politicized, but at the same time, I'm black, I'm Latino. My father was an immigrant. You know, there's just stuff that I can't ignore, and issues of fairness and stuff like that that I can't ignore. So I'm going to look at a way to wrap the military experience and the desire to serve in a way that just helps, right?
Yeah.
Um, Helps people communicate, helps people, um, you know, helps people make progress. And the ideas that we talked about, I think I may have discussed this with you guys, was to move into more of a search and rescue capacity,
Yep.
to develop that capacity. That's
Yeah.
going to be part of it, but that'll only be half of it. But what that means is I'm keeping my jet skis. So
Good.
Well,
I
one of the
probably won't have as many. I'm going to cut the fleet in half, but I'll still have more than most people do at that point.
That and automobiles. Well, you're rivaling Jody
Yeah.
here.
I don't know. Some of his
I don't
cars
know.
are pretty
Jerry, I
badass.
sold a couple more. I sold my '68 Camaro.
I
I
saw
sold
that.
my Saab. I sold my '64 Fairlane.
You sold the Viper too,
And
didn't
I've
you?
got no, I didn't sell the Viper. No, I can't sell a Viper.
All right. Well, that's good.
Yeah, there's. I would sell the Viper if I could replace it with like a Pantera or something, but
Yeah, you could always adopt
not
me
for
and
anything.
just kind of
that's
let
what
your
I'm saying.
adopted kid drive it around
my
for a little
papers
bit.
in next week.
Hey, PK. In all seriousness, and just we don't. But the Viper. I mean, those cars have a reputation of just being unpredictable, nasty.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, when
Yeah.
it's like when you think
Like a
you
Marine.
finally got it under
Marine.
control, it
You don't know.
just it just blindsides you.
Yeah. Well, it does this. It's really great at doing this thing to you. You're driving, and it's whispering to you, "Come on, you want to hit it? Hit it. Come on, just a little bit, just a little bit." You see that punk in that Ford? Yeah, he's got a 350G. He thinks he's some. Come on, just hit it a little bit. You got this. You don't got
Touch
it.
it off.
I don't care who you are. You don't got it. And then once it tries to kill you, and you figure, and you're clenched up, and you're thinking, "Oh my God, what was I thinking?" It goes, "I was just as an aberration. Don't worry. That there was a little bit of little slick stuff on the road. You really got it this time. Trust me." Let me tell you, as a Viper owner, you don't got it. You never
No.
got it with that car.
No,
It tries to kill me every time I drive it. But I there's nothing like it. I don't want to be another 50-year-old in a Porsche or something. I
right.
like old cars. I don't like cars that are connected, that you can hack. Teslas are great, but I don't want Elon Musk to know what my car is doing.
No,
So
and you're as a performance guy, and a child of, the muscle car days, PK. There's nothing like a Viper. It's just
no.
an animal.
All right, so I got a better idea. Go get your vaccine. Take the Viper. Come on up here. We have plenty enough skis to ride, and just throw me the keys to the Viper for a couple hours. It will be good.
Okay. Okay. I have driven, and I'll say this, it is brutal and all that, but it's a great GT car too, because I've driven it to California.
Wow.
Oh, that car's a blast.
Yeah. But like PK said, once you start to feel comfortable and confident, and you really start to get in her, those cars just.
See, I had that same issue with the GT500.
Yeah, but I think it.
The only problem is your head wouldn't leave the headrest.
That was fun as hell, though. That's a story for another time when Jody pulled 90 out of first. It was amazing, PK.
That's the thing about it. Like a GT500 or a 350 or anything modern, it's got traction control.
Right.
It's got something that will say, you know what I mean? It'll smack you around, but it won't kill you.
Right.
I don't even have cruise control. So my year, I'll say this. So I have a Generation 4 Viper. The last generation, the Generation 5, I think they have cruise control. I think they have traction control and a few other things. But I'm working on mine, and I'm looking for a good racing traction control system. So that might help,
Yeah, and there's a track up here too that we could always take it on. And the gentleman that I work for has quite a few vets. I'm sure he let me take a couple days off to show you around.
And quite honestly, I think Hennessy that makes that that Venom.
The Venom.
I think Hennessy out of Texas does some modifications for Vipers and
that just
they have a twin
stupid.
turbo setup for the Viper.
oh God,
Makes it stupid.
that's just crazy.
Yeah, it's like a 1,800 horsepower. I mean, I can't handle 600. You
No,
know,
it's just totally unnecessary.
But
It
I'll
doesn't
say
matter
for
if it's
gentlemen of a certain
unnecessary.
age,
It doesn't matter.
for gentlemen of a
Right.
certain age, it's a great car. The great thing I love about it, and the reason I bought that, right, when I came out of the hospital and I was like, look, I could, you know, I my issues have shortened my life dramatically. What am I saving money for? Right, I spend a little of it, live. So
Right.
when I decided what I was going to buy, I just happened to watch Top Gear, and Jeremy Clarkson was like just thrashing a Viper, and like I mean, you know, like doing burnouts and all kinds of crazy stuff. He got it to the pipe so hot that the bodywork was catching fire. And one thing he said, and I love this. He was like, they were like, "What's it like?" It's like driving a tractor. I was like, okay, of course they're gonna trash anything American because they're Brits. But he said one thing in its favor. He says you can't break it. There's nothing you can do to break it. Because I was dumping the clutch. It was smoking. It was practically on fire. So it kept running. And every one of their other exotics, when they test them, they break.
Right.
So that was the thing. I was like, look, I need a car that I can afford to buy and maintain. I can do that with a Viper.
Right, and beat the hell out of it.
Well, I am very careful with it, like because it scares me to death.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, but it's a lot of fun, and I'll probably never sell it. I'll probably never sell it.
I don't blame you. And you know, PK, we're now simulcast on Roku TV, so we have to limit the show. Yeah, we have to limit the show to a half hour. So are we up? We're up at our time mark.
Yeah.
We're up at we got to get PK. PK, we can't wait another year and a half to have you back on the show. I'm gonna throw the BS card on the table right now. You know, I mean, we only got like 20 minutes to talk to you.
You wouldn't shut up in the beginning.
Yeah,
we got to do this.
It wouldn't stop.
Got to do this more frequently.
Well, hey, I'll tell you a couple of things that I have planned for 2021. Just
yeah, go ahead.
In an effort not only to be able to attend more events and see you guys and do some traveling, I'm not only going to get the vaccine. I'm looking at buying an RV. So
awesome.
I will be a little more mobile. I'm not sure when we're going to get it. You know, it's kind of hard to shop and test drive stuff right now. But when I do get it, I'll be a lot more mobile. I'll be able to, what's that commercial say? Feel free to move around the country.
Right.
And
right.
we will be parking lot pimping with not one but two RVs.
Awesome. That's fantastic.
I'll let you guys sit between my tent. Like I'll be in the middle.
No, we'll actually just put both awnings up against each other.
I can put my tent.
It'd be all set.
See, he just wants to be the stuff in the Oreo in the middle.
That's it.
That's all he wants to be. He just wants to be surrounded by men and
call
feel.
me.
Call me.
That's one of my favorite
love
cookies.
it. Love it. Hey, I really miss you guys. I miss our times, you know, and
too,
it's been a hell of a year. Let me say congratulations on that kick-ass studio. Who built that?
Oh, hey, thanks. You know what's funny is it's software that we've had for 2 years, and Mel finally got some collaboration with Maverick, who works with AJ, and we didn't even know. We just didn't know how to use it. Maverick taught Mel, and Mel's like the tech director now. Wait until you see the next one he does. He's doing a custom one now. It's going to be amazing.
Not bad. Not bad. That's all CGI.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll send you a picture of what it looks like.
That's why I was saying, PK, literally not even 2 feet in front of Jody and I, there's like these lights that are just, I mean, it's like it's like we're under sun lamps. It's unbelievable. But yeah, it's all green screen. Yeah, and Mel's done a great job with.
He's actually going to send you a picture right now.
Yeah, he's gonna text it to you.
All right.
But
cool.
yeah, you know, we're
Very
looking
cool.
forward to some normalcy in 2021, and we got to connect with you. You know, even if it's we don't do an event. We just pick somewhere and get together and just throw the boats in the water. Got to do something.
You got it. You got it. And as soon as I finish with Take Point Now's new business plan and I'm ready to launch it, I'll give you guys all the details.
Yeah, we'd love to.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, we'd love to, just continue to support in any way, shape, or form that we can, and get you the degree of support that is beyond well deserved.
Thanks, bro. Thank you very much.
Listen, we're sorry. We're sorry we're running up against the timeline here, but we'll talk to you soon offline.
You got it.
Good
Take
seeing
care,
you,
guys.
buddy.
Hey, thanks again, PK.
Bye-bye.
So again, anyone, if you're unfamiliar with Take Point Now, you can find them on social media. Take Point Now, again, how would you, veterans?
It's a veteran-based.
It was a support organization for vets.
For vets. Yep,
Right.
perfect. So again, we're sorry we're running up against our timeline. Love to Liquid Molly, Bomber, WSM Performance Products, Watercraft
SBT.
Superstore.
It's fresh and salty.
Fresh and Salty.
Bobinski.
Got to give Fresh and Salty huge love. That cart they gave away in Daytona.
Free
Two.
ride.
Amazing.
2.
Like you said, Bopinski, NGK. A lot of love going out to everybody. We're back next Wednesday. And we got a great show. Don't we have Haggis next week? Or
No. I think it's going to be the following week.
okay. Oh, we have Maddie from SCX 2021
Yes, we
in
do.
Australia.
Oh, yeah, that is next week.
Got to
Yep.
gonna
That's next week.
Gonna throw some shrimp on the Barbie, open up some Fosters, and have some.
You're going to wear your hat?
I'll bring it next week. I'll bring the